Hey, this is Michael from Mini Mansions, and you're listening to Alterna Gold on VIC Radio.
So I actually saw you guys at a Vulture show last year. So clearly you've been together for a while. So how long is it? How long have you been working on the record?
Well, we've been a band for about 2 years, almost 2 years now. But we've been, we started. I guess all the songs have been brewing since then. I didn't actually start recording the record and really getting into it until about November of '09.
Okay.
So it's almost been about a year since we started actually recording the record and really working on it in the studio.
That's cool. But yeah, so it seems like you had it all kind of written and well rehearsed before then.
Not everything, but a lot of the songs, we weren't writing for a record, so they were kind of just a year's worth of material. Just kind of the starts of a band.
Yeah.
But some stuff we went in the studio not really having totally down, maybe like 3 or 4 songs, and just kind of pieced them together in the studio.
And so I guess this, when Queens took a break and Josh went to the Vultures and everything, it was sort of good, I guess, so you could do this project.
Yeah, I mean, I'd already started on this. I had started on it and didn't know how far we would take it. I just wanted to do something and just keep busy and keep writing music, and I thought it'd be something new and interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
And, originally it was supposed to be kind of like an acoustic, mellow thing. And I don't know if because I had more time on my hands, I took it further, but something felt right about it, so we just kept pushing with it. And from the beginning, we were rehearsing and writing 5 days a week, long hours.
Yeah.
Just because we were just so excited to write these songs.
Yeah.
And everything was coming together pretty well.
Yeah, it sounds awesome too. Now, where did you meet the other two guys? It's Tyler and Zach.
Yeah, Zach, I've known since middle school, since we were about 11.
Cool.
And been close forever. And he was to college in Santa Cruz with Tyler, and they were roommates. And yeah, they got pretty close. And I met him a couple times when I would visit Zach at school, but didn't really get to know him until he moved to LA about 2 years ago when we started the band.
I saw that you had that first release, which I guess, did you guys do that yourselves?
Yeah, well, we put it out through our friend's label, Psychedelic Judaism.
Oh, okay.
And they had put out another band I was in called Wires on Fire. I mean, one of the guys is in Wires on Fire, and they're both longtime friends of mine. So they put out that and a few other records, and yeah, it was just a fun 7-inch to do. Nothing big.
And this new one, obviously, is on Records and Ipecac, right?
Yes.
And I was actually curious because I noticed, I just saw online some of the track names of the original, and that a lot of them carried over. Obviously, did you re-record them? And then are there are other songs, I think, like Laura, and other songs that are not on the new one, the full length. So I wondered if those are going to come out at some point, re-recorded, or if they're just going to stay on the original release.
Those will stay. I think that we did 8 songs on that first EP, and Magic Marker and Seven Sons was the last 2 that were written for that EP, and they just felt like the beginning of what Mini Mansions would be, and everything else was on the mellower side and just kind of songs that we started with. So we just felt like Magic Marker and Seven Sons would fit with the record, and we did re-record them for the record.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different.
I remember when I saw you, and I was with a friend, and you guys came out, and I was like, what is this band? And I actually didn't recognize you. I think you cut your hair at that point. But I turned to my friend and I said, this kind of sounds like something off of like Sgt. Pepper or like Magical Mystery Tour. So, and clearly I'm not, from what I've heard and read, that I'm not the only person to say that. So is that an intentional choice, or something that just sort of happened, or?
I don't think it was intentional at all. I always had, Magical Mystery Tour has always, sit in my back pocket, and I always think about that record a lot. I don't think it gets enough attention, and well, actually got plenty of attention, but just in this in the scheme of the Beatles.
Well, the film got negative attention,
Yeah, that's true. I thought actually when we did the Blondie cover, that's what I was thinking. I was kind of thinking Heart of Glass mixed with Magical Mystery Tour.
Nice.
But we didn't go in thinking like, let's do a record that sounds like the Beatles. I don't really think it sounds like the Beatles. I think maybe because there's a lot of different, chord changes and weird chord progressions people would associate with the Beatles.
So I guess the Beatles obviously are one influence on you, but what are some others, and like what are some of your favorite albums?
That's a really toughie.
It always is.
I don't know. I think for Mini Mansions, a big influence is a song called Pleasure Forever. Their band, they put out 2 records on Sub Pop in the early 2000s, and I think it totally got overlooked. They didn't really get too far, and then they broke up because of it. And but the 2 records they put out are both amazing, and I think we took a lot of influence from that. They're a 3-piece piano-based band. I think everyone should check out. But right now, I mean, I really only listen to old stuff. I've been trying to get into new stuff. It's been pretty tough. I guess the last record I bought was this band called Piss Jeans, and they're basically just a really great punk band, doing good punk music that no one really does nowadays. I love the new Grinderman record. That's all I've been listening to recently.
It seems like there's like kind of a story in it. I don't know if that's what you're going for, but you have the vignettes throughout it, which I thought was kind of cool. So I wondered what the sort of meaning or story behind the vignettes was, and if that kind of structured the album or something, if there was a story you were telling there.
I wouldn't say there's a story, because lyrically there's very little correlation on the record, but musically I think there is a kind of concept. And I guess the vignettes were one of the things that we kind of finished in the studio. But we had, these kind of 3 songs that couldn't be translated into full songs. They were kind of just parts, but they were all really good. And we kind of realized that they all fit together. They all have this waltz feel, and they fit. We tried it together, and they fit perfectly in the same key. It all just totally worked out perfectly. So I think we put them together and we recorded them as one song. So it's basically like one 6-minute song, but decided to break them up throughout the record to kind of make it feel like a record that you would listen to from beginning to end. And I don't know if people get that and notice that that you can hear them fading in and out of each other because they were recorded as one. I don't know if people notice that or not, but yeah, it was an effort to musically make it a concept record.
Yeah, I picked up on that because I that's the way I listen to albums. I like to do front to back at least once, and then pick my favorites and so forth. But that's not really common anymore.
It's not, and I really wanted to make a music lovers record.
Yes, exactly.
I've always been in bands, that have been bands. Like you play to 10 people and everyone hates you, but the bands you played with love you, and that's kind of been the story of my life.
Yeah.
And so I said, might as well keep going with it. And so I feel like, people that are really into music and really are record lovers and musicians will kind of get it, and hopefully, other people will too. But yeah, I think we want to make a record that is like, okay, I'm a person, I'm going to listen to it front to back, and hopefully they do.
What's the future plans for you and Mini Mansions and Queens and everything?
Well, it's pretty exciting for me. I mean, putting out this record and then starting on a new record with Queens it's really exciting for me, and it's going to be a really busy time. But we're gonna just start kind of being a band. We haven't really had a chance. We've toured together for a couple of years now, and grown to be a band, but we haven't really written as a band yet. So we're gonna take some trips together and get close and, you know, all sleep in one twin bed together and just kind of figure out how to be a band and just start writing songs and see where it goes.
Cool.
But there will be music soon.
Nice. So there will be more mini mentions and more Queens, of course.
Yes, working on both.
Nice. So you're a busy guy.
Very.